The day finally arrives and the Ramune chips are officially released. A striking commercial begins playing around town and is simultaneously uploaded online. The concept of blue fizzy chips quickly catches people's attention, sparking curiosity. Teenagers start buying bags to try them out and are surprised by both the unusual appearance and the surprisingly good taste. Influencers and celebrities soon begin talking about the chips as well, and before long they are labeled as the next viral trend. Stores rapidly sell out as demand continues to grow. 2 weeks later, Yamashita reports the success of the Ramune chips to Kisuke. He asks whether the company should prepare a bonus, noting that this is the first major hit the planning department has had in quite some time. Kisuke agrees that they deserve it and, before Yamashita leaves, instructs him to prepare something else for the team as well. Soon after, the planning division receives news about a barbecue the company will be hosting for them. Saki points out that the announcement came directly from the vice president's office, which makes Yutaka wonder aloud if Kisuke will be attending. The idea of a barbecue excites Yumeko, especially at the thought of spending time with Kisuke. She finds herself grinning uncontrollably, to the point that even Saki notices. Yumeko approaches Hiroki and asks if Degawa can be invited as well. Hiroki gives her an irritated look but ultimately tells her that she is free to do whatever she wants. That evening, Kisuke once again has dinner at a hotel with Rikako. He tries to make casual conversation, but Rikako remains distant and unresponsive. When Kisuke receives a message, he sees that it is from Yumeko, and he smiles as he reads it, a reaction Rikako immediately notices. She comments that he seems happy, and Kisuke replies that work has been enjoyable lately. He admits that he once felt guilty about leaving the planning department and had wanted to return because he felt they still needed him. However, seeing how well the new team is performing has reassured him, and now he simply wants to support them as best he can in his role as vice president. As he casually mentions hosting a barbecue for the team, Kisuke fails to notice Rikako sinking further into her thoughts. On the day of the barbecue, the planning department is stunned by the elaborate setup and the lively atmosphere. They even spot Kisuke manning the grills himself. Feeling guilty that the vice president is working so hard for them, they decide to pitch in and help. Yumeko hangs back for a moment, admiring how handsome he looks. Eventually, she raises her hand and waves. Hiroki walks over shortly after, and Kisuke immediately approaches him. He expresses how grateful he is that Hiroki came to celebrate with the team. Hiroki feels uneasy and is about to turn away, but he notices Yumeko glaring at him, a silent reminder of his promise to be kinder to Kisuke. Swallowing his pride, Hiroki quietly thanks Kisuke before walking off. Kisuke turns to Yumeko with a smile, certain that she had something to do with Hiroki being less cold toward him. Not long after, Degawa arrives and she and Yumeko celebrate together over the success of the Ramune chips. Yumeko offers to grab drinks for them, encouraging Degawa to chat with the vice president while she is gone. Degawa is momentarily confused, not realizing Yumeko is referring to Kisuke, until he gives her an uneasy greeting. He awkwardly expresses his gratitude for the design. Yumeko suddenly reappears, handing both of them roasted marshmallows and excitedly explaining how they can be drizzled with chocolate or dropped into hot cocoa. Remembering that she was supposed to get drinks, Yumeko rushes off again. Kisuke suddenly considers the idea of selling a s'mores dip and wonders if it would be marketable. Degawa agrees, suggesting bright red packaging to fit a Christmas theme. They briefly find themselves animated by the idea, only to realize they are acting friendly despite the unresolved tension between them. Degawa then tells Kisuke that she made a promise to Yumeko not to give up on the hope that one day their old team could reunite and smile together again. She then sharply reminds him that she has not forgiven him for what he did, but for today she chooses to enjoy herself. Stepping forward, she loudly calls out to Yumeko, demanding a different drink. Soon after, Yamashita gathers everyone's attention and announces that an award will be presented to Yumeko. Yumeko is stunned, having never expected to receive anything special. As she steps forward, she feels as though the entire event has transformed into an awards ceremony. Standing at the front with Kisuke and Yamashita, Yumeko listens as Kisuke thanks her for her hard work and dedication in creating a brilliant product that brought smiles to so many people. He then hands her the certificate along with a bouquet of flowers. Yamashita invites Yumeko to say a few words and she agrees. Spotting a nearby tree trunk, she climbs onto it. She thanks everyone for their hard work, emphasizing that the success of the chips was only possible because of everyone present. She gives special mention to her team, Saki for staying by her side during development and helping shoulder the workload, Yutaka and Masakiko for their constant encouragement, Hiroki for accompanying her on the business trip, and Degawa for the incredible design. She then mentions Kisuke. Yumeko explains that he was the one who gave her the hint for the product. As her teammates begin to tear up, Yumeko suddenly adds that the most important person she needs to thank is herself. As she begins confidently praising her own efforts, Yutaka leads everyone into a cheer. The barbecue continues and spirits rise even higher as the meat finally finishes cooking. Degawa chooses to enjoy the rest of the barbecue with the current planning department, finding herself having a genuinely good time chatting with Yumeko and the others. Later on, Yumeko searches for the restroom. She runs into Kisuke and asks if he is enjoying himself. Kisuke admits that he is, though he struggles to act casually around the other employees. Yumeko tells him that many people would likely enjoy talking to him and suggests that he could start conversations by complimenting outfits or even bringing up romance. She reminds him that the most important thing is simply to smile. Kisuke fondly remarks on how adorable she is, causing Yumeko to feel her face heat up. He admits that he truly enjoys spending time with her, but he is suddenly called away before he can say more. Left alone, Yumeko wonders what his words mean and convinces herself that they must be proof that Kisuke wants to stay by her side forever. She begins to giggle to herself, unaware that Rikako has witnessed the entire exchange. Rikako silently curses Yumeko for stealing her happiness. As she steps forward, she accidentally snaps a twig underfoot, alerting Yumeko to her presence. Rikako quickly composes herself and claims that she got lost. Yumeko studies her face and realizes that the woman before her is Rikako. Rikako is surprised that she is recognized, and Yumeko calmly notes that she knows what she looks like because she is Hiroki's wife. She kindly asks what Rikako is doing there and wonders if she is looking for the barbecue. Yumeko points her in the right direction and invites her to join in. Rikako declines the invitation, claiming that she does not know anyone there, but Yumeko insists, explaining that her old team is all present. Rikako is surprised to hear that Degawa is there and admits that it has been a long time since she last saw her. She reminisces about how close they all used to be. She goes on to say that she and Kisuke are old friends and that their relationship is built on trust. The words leave Yumeko with an uneasy feeling as if she has heard them before. Rikako catches her staring and asks if something is wrong. Yumeko realizes that Rikako had used her name and asks whether they have met somewhere before. Rikako quickly denies it, but before the moment can linger, they hear Kisuke shouting at Rikako. He steps in front of Yumeko protectively and asks Rikako if she has done anything to Yumeko. Rikako smiles and assures him that they were simply talking. Kisuke scolds Rikako for appearing so suddenly, then takes her hand and leads her away, telling Yumeko to inform his secretary that he has an urgent matter to attend to. Yumeko watches them leave, left wondering if she has truly met Rikako before, as the woman feels strangely familiar to her. Unbeknownst to her, the entire exchange is observed by Hiroki and the detectives. Shunzenburo insists that they should intervene, but Motoki urges him to stay calm, reasoning that no one would be reckless enough to act out in the open with so many witnesses around. He adds that if anyone does attempt to harm Yumeko, it would give them the chance to catch the culprit red-handed. Though hesitant, Shunzenburo is reassured by Motoki's confidence that this time they will be able to protect Yumeko. The planning department later enjoys a game of badminton with Hiroki and Degawa watching from the sidelines. Yumeko glances at the two of them and feels a pang of guilt that neither of them knows Rikako was just there. She considers telling Degawa but decides against it, knowing it would only cause more anxiety. Before she can sink further into the memory, her focus is abruptly broken when the shuttlecock strikes her squarely on the forehead. While the rest of the team panics, Yumeko confidently claims that it is nothing to worry about, since she has suffered worse. Yumeko pulls her hand away from her forehead and freezes when she sees how much blood there is. In that instant, another memory flashes through her mind. She ends up sleeping on a bench. Degawa checks on her and explains that the event has already ended and that everyone has begun cleaning up. She adds that Kisuke also left early due to an emergency. Degawa smiles faintly and admits that she is grateful Yumeko invited her. Even though their conversation was brief, it gave her the chance to speak with Kisuke again. The encounter makes her reflect on the past, and she confesses that she is beginning to believe Kisuke may have had a genuine reason for being unable to leave Rikako's side. Guilt floods Yumeko. Degawa deserves to know the truth. She admits that Kisuke left early to take Rikako home. Yumeko had assumed she was part of the event and had invited her to join everyone. She explains that Kisuke arrived shortly after and appeared visibly upset by Rikako's presence. Yumeko also confesses that Rikako feels familiar to her, as though something may have happened between them. Degawa struggles to understand how Rikako and Yumeko could possibly share a history. Yumeko admits that she has never told Degawa that she had lost her memory. At first, Degawa assumes she is joking, thinking Yumeko is referring to being struck earlier during the game. Yumeko quickly clarifies that it is not a joke and explains everything in detail. Degawa apologizes for doubting her, but Yumeko admits there is more. She gets distracted for a bit, but Degawa manages to snap her out of it. She finally comes clean and reveals that her case is being investigated as an attempted murder. She explains that signs of a struggle were found and that investigators confirmed the presence of both a man and another woman. Degawa bristles at the implication, interpreting Yumiko's words as an accusation against Rikako. She argues that the culprit must have been the man instead and questions whether Kisuke could be involved. Yumeko reacts sharply, insisting that Kisuke is innocent. After a tense moment, the two calm down and apologize. Tagawa then asks whether Rikako said anything unusual. Yumeko says that Rikako denied ever meeting her, despite Rikako using her name. She wonders aloud if it could be due to her being well-known, but Tagawa immediately dismisses the idea. Tagawa suggests that they confront Rikako directly to get answers. Before they can act on the plan, Hiroki suddenly steps forward, revealing his presence. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss new episodes every week.